coding family. How's everybody doing? Let's see, I'm sitting here drinking on some tea. Let's hope the voice holds out. Let's me check up on chat and see what's going on here. Let me know in chat if you can see my starting screen and hear me. Pearlie is working on taking her exam late March, early April. April is my birthday month, a very lucky month to take your exam in. To answer Patrice's question, I don't think the exams change very often. They might update a question or two, but they're pretty much the same questions as from 2019. But if you don't have the questions from the area of study, those are brand new questions you've probably never seen before. Jennifer is taking the CCS. And DRG questions are the ones she's struggling with. Be sure and join my Discord group. CCS has their own practice exam question room, and you can post those questions in there or review other questions from other people for the last 2 years, and y'all can work together on those DRG questions. Yay, y'all can hear me. I take my exam on Thursday. Oh my, Katie. Good gracious. Good to see you guys. Hey, Andrea. Good to see you guys. Thank y'all for the thumbs up, and thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with me tonight. I hope I can make a difference in you guys' life and can help you guys pass your medical coding certification exam. I need to get my IT guy here. I've done something to this Word document. It's kind of stretched out a little bit. I don't really like the stretching of it, but hopefully you guys can see it quite well. Don't forget that in your YouTube video, if y'all are in YouTube, wherever it is, tap the top of the screen in your YouTube video. There'll be a little a wheel setting at the top, and you can change your video quality to the highest quality so that your playback is clearer than what we've got it going on right now. Let me turn off that camera. And I've got a little exercise that I had a little time today to do. It's kind of like for the CCS people, they do a word match on their exam, but the questions are good for CCS and AAPC, of course, CPC or any of the certifications. Mostly dealing with the differences between fraud and abuse. So what I've got here is which one might be fraud, which one might be waste, which one might be knowledge and intent. Of course, some things are going to be overlapping because they are fraud and waste, or abuse is written down several times, so it's okay. But the definitions are over here on the end. So let's start off with A. If Dr. X is a very thorough provider and he runs blood test panels on every patient every year for a physical, irregardless of any medical conditions or anything, is that considered fraud, waste, knowledge and intent, abuse, any of these things down here? Maybe a HIPAA violation, number 11. What do you guys think?
I don't think there's enough room for all these cups.
I'm sure you'll manage to find a place to put the cups, James.
Put them in the bowls? With the bowls?
No, don't put the cups with the bowls, baby. Oh my God. He's putting away the clean dishes out of the dishwasher. And he can't do it. He says there's not enough room. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think? Lots of people are saying waste. Good job. Let's just put an A right here at number 2. Okay. What about B? Dr. X feels that he should add on an extra code to every Medicaid patient that he sees because he feels like he's not getting enough money. Is that fraud, knowledge intent, abuse, False Claims Act, waste, HIPAA? What would that be? Yeah. We'll throw that on a fraud real quick. That's a good B. What about what term would be used for actions that either directly or indirectly result in the unnecessary cost of a Medicare program? Indirectly or unnecessary cost. What do you guys think? While I drink on this tea. I still don't see a correct answer in chat. I think I finally caught y'all. Okay. What term would be used for actions that either indirectly or directly result in unnecessary cost? Actions. Kanisha? Miss Day? She got it. It's abuse. All right, C right there. All right, D. Strong incentives for whistleblowing to report fraud. Is that knowledge intent, fraud, False Claims Act, waste, HIPAA? What has a strong incentives plan for whistleblowers? Strong incentives. If you're going to pay somebody incentives for being a whistleblower, is that under HIPAA, waste, fraud, abuse, False Claims Act, knowledge and intent? Still not seeing a correct answer on this one either. Hey, Diana. Good to see you. Nope. There you go. Pearlie got it. D. False Claims Act has a bill in it that will pay people for being whistleblowers. It's a certain percentage of the amount of claims they get paid. It's part of the act. E. Incurring unnecessary cost as a result of deficient management practices, systems, and controls. Incurring unnecessary cost as a result of deficient management practices. You can charge it.
You put the password in.
No. PC, good to see you again. Thanks for joining the YouTube membership. If you just have an incompetent management, do they consider that abuse, fraud, waste, HIPAA, knowledge, and intent? Have I seen anybody with the correct answer? It's not fraud. There you go, Sabrina. It's waste. Yeah. If your management is just incompetent, it's waste. Yeah. All right. What is considered a significant element in committing an act of fraud? What is considered a significant element in committing fraud? There you go. Andrea got that one. That's knowledge and intent. If you're going to do fraud, it's definitely, you have to have the knowledge that you're doing wrong and the intent that you're doing wrong for it to be fraud. So that's where the knowledge and intent comes from. It's an element is what that is. Good job. G. Jill is the compliance officer for Dr. X. Jill wants to send all lab referrals to the lab that her physician owns. Is that abuse, fraud, waste, HIPAA?
Clay05 has become a member.
If Jill wants to send everybody to the lab that they own, is that fraud, abuse, waste, HIPAA? Yes, fraud. We use G up here. We'll lose that one up there. All right. What about overutilization of services? Is that abuse, fraud, or waste, or HIPAA? Overutilization of services. Good job, Anne. That is waste. Okay, waste is gone now. We've finished all the ones that were waste. All we have left is abuse, fraud, and HIPAA, okay? So I is concerning the billing and payments for services and products to patients. Fraud will involve patient's privacy issue. Concerning the billing and payments for a service and products to the patient, fraud will involve patient privacy issues. Yep, that's our HIPAA. That's our I. So all we have left is fraud and abuse. So a payment for items or services that a provider is not entitled to or which the provider has not intentionally misreported. Payment for items or services that the provider is not entitled to and they intentionally misreport. Is that fraud or abuse? Let's read K. K is intentional deception or misrepresentation that a person makes to gain a benefit to which they are not entitled. Both of those sound really close together. What do you think J is and what do you think K is? Intentional deception, is that fraud or abuse? It's, yes, you got that right. J is abuse and K is fraud. Good job, guys. Good job. I do have a screenshot here of the answers for you if you want it. You know, but good job. Just something different to do today. I've been wanting to do one of these matches. And I was on a kick with fraud and abuse questions today. On our YouTube channel, I have a new practice exam question with fraud and abuse too up. So if y'all haven't had a chance to do it yet, y'all be sure and head over there to that and practice those questions too. All right, let's start out with looking at our answers first. Don't read the questions yet. Be sure and just look at these answers. I want to make sure that you've got one little thing in integumentary memorized. If you know that any code starting with 114 is benign, that is super helpful for the exam. And if you know that any code in integumentary that starts out with 116 is cancerous, that will help you out a ton on the exam. We can look from the bottom up and see if we have any diagnoses of anything being cancerous. There's also a helpful chart. If you're in the 2024 book, what page number am I on? Let me show you with my camera. This little chart is handy dandy to have and know where to run to. Maybe if you just take one of those tabs that we don't use and just have the top part of this page so that you can find it in integumentary. This one little chart is super helpful for the exam. I found the exact answer of one of my questions right here because I had a biopsy and a punch or something. I think it was this one that I have pink highlighted. That was the exact answer I was looking for on my exam, but that was back in 2019. But this chart is super helpful to help you with your medical coding exam. It'll tell you how you can do 1 punch biopsy and 2 shaved biopsies, or 1 incisional biopsy and a shave biopsy and a punch biopsy. All 3, how you would do it. Remember that the T word just means that they did a shave biopsy. So, super helpful little chart there. Be sure you know where to find it in your CPT book. We're doing a punch biopsy. And shaved, right? Did anybody get the page number? I've whited out my page numbers, so I don't have the page numbers on my book anymore. I got rid of it for some reason in integumentary. 82, 80, let's see, that would be 83, 84, 85, 86, maybe around page 86. You can tell that they're trying to get you to code or repair and stuff here too. So be careful. This one is A. A is the answer. I think most of you guys knew that. Good job. The previous page too is really important too to know. Let me show you guys real quick. Because this page right here, this second column, gives you the definitions of what a shave biopsy is, what a punch biopsy is, and what an incisional biopsy is. It's on the opposite side of the page with the chart as far as the 2024 book, but that column is super helpful too. They may ask you something about the definitions of these particular terms, and they're right there on the opposite side. Super helpful to know where that's located during your exam. The other thing that they always ask on the exam here is, let's see, the repairs. Knowing your definitions of the types of repairs is super helpful, from your simple repair, your intermediate, and your complex. What you need to know about a complex repair is if they say anything about undermining in your exam question, then you know they did a complex repair. So you look for them making a flap, making anything that's got this heliacal rim, or if they're making borders, rims, any of these little words right here, that means that we did undermining. That means that we did a complex repair. So the key term right here, complex repair, is undermining, and then these words, margins of rim, border, rim, and these retention sutures. If they do those type of sutures, then you know your repair was complex and you bill from that area. From the other two sections, from the intermediate, the last sentence underneath the intermediate is the one they always ask on, usually medical coding exams, that a single layer closure with heavy contamination where they just irrigate it turns your simple single layer closure into an intermediate repair. So even though you're only doing a single layer, it can be coded as an intermediate if we had to irrigate it heavily, dig out some rocks and stuff. So be sure you know that particular guideline. And simple single layer, it's not really hard. Just know that any anesthetic like lidocaine injections and steri strips and stuff are all included. We don't bill those separately. So that's the main important things in integumentary to be sure and know. All right, let's look at our next question. We got E&M and another integumentary. Oh, I've seen this question before. We've done this one a couple of times, quite a few times. The difference is sizes, right? Are we a 44 or are we over here in the 04 or the 05s? Did we do anything that would be heavy, extensive? Yeah, we got heavily contaminated. So we know we're going to upgrade that to intermediate. So we know we can't code anything simple first. So easy peasy, we're going to get rid of B and D because we're not going to code anything simple. And we can just figure out if we are an 11 or a 13 on the last code, because everything else is the same, right? It's just a difference between these two. So then we can just go look up our differences between the 12, 13, where are we at? 11 and 13. And that is just a difference of knowing whether we are above 2.6. So anything 2.6 or above is going to be there. Anything below it is the 11. What did you guys think? Because I wanted to, Rachel. When I take pictures of my integumentary notes, having all of that, what I whited out was these blue and green dot things about the CPT changes in the CPT assistant. This information is very unhelpful because we don't have access to it during the medical coding exam, and it's in my way when I'm trying to take pictures of my notes and my camera is trying to focus in on all this stuff. The dots really interfere with the quality of the picture. So when I did my integumentary, I just whited those out. I didn't use that space as writable space for my notes, of course, because that's illegal, but I just whited it out so that when I took a picture of my notes for you guys, the ones that are purchasing them and downloading them, that the focus could be really clear. Because when you take a picture of this, you can't tell that's white out. It turns this page into the same color as this white, and all of it looks white, and the only thing you see is my complex and my highlights. So I just did it just because I want to. You guys know you can't do that. You don't. Y'all know the rules. All right, what do we think about this answer? You're working on the E&M notes. Awesome. They're really good this year. I'm really happy with them, so I hope they help you out a whole bunch. Do I have notes for compliance and regulatory for CPC? I have a workshop for compliance and regulatory. It's on my YouTube channel here for the YouTube members, and it goes over every question that I could find for compliance and regulatory and E&M. And that workshop is really good. I mean, if you can do all those practice exam questions, because we did like 75 in 3 hours, or make notes about those practice questions, you've got more than enough information for your CPC exam with that one YouTube video. You guys know. Oh, you just got the integumentary notes? Oh, they will help you. I think they will. I think they'll do a really good job of telling you exactly just what you need to know for the exam. Gives you all the AKA terms of what things might be called during your exam that aren't in your CPT book. Because, you know, they might call an ATT, an adjacent tissue transfer. They might just call it a transposition double peptide flap, and you won't know that's an ATT unless you had that list. So I think it's great. I like my notes, but I hope they do help you out a whole bunch for sure. I hope they explain some of the guidelines, and they also have examples down for you too. And I try not to make it too wordy, but definitions of terms too that are in the CPT code descriptors that you might not understand what they mean or what's going on in the surgery is there too. But all you need is the one-word differences between the codes. But there is some extra information there too. So don't let it stress you out too much. But I hope it helps out a whole bunch. How many we got on right now? Let's see. got 45 on? Okay, good. Thank y'all for the likes on the YouTube video. We have 9 likes and 5 new members. And let me give out some new membership subscriptions. Let's give out 5 more. We'll have a total of 10 new YouTube members. The YouTube membership gives you access to all the TikTok replays, all the workshop replays that are older than 90 days old, all my old duck classes that I have. Those were 2-hour-long classes with super hard questions, very tricky ones, the advanced ones, the podcast, and tons of other videos that are super helpful for you guys. Let's see. Who got one? Pearlie got one. April, Erin, Julie, Cynthia. Aw. Yay. Awesome. I hope that is super helpful for you guys. Thank y'all for the... Now we got 13 likes on the YouTube video. Thank you guys. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? If we are here, we don't have to look up the first code because it's the same one in every one of them. It's good to go and see what's going on with that code. What's going on with the 1500? So we would be under surgical preparation. What else did we do for this patient besides prep them for surgery? Did we do 4 procedures? Did we do 2? Did we do 4, 5? This one would be 5 procedures. And this one would be 3. I like to just count. You know, a lot of times you can figure out what the answer is. What did I do for this patient today? We did an excision, surgical prep, grafted to their burns. You got to think about what's included and what's not. Think about your totals. So if I count what I've got circled here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, right? Yep. If this had been less than 99, or, you know, we wouldn't only need 3 codes, but since it's over 100, we have the extra square feet. Yeah. So we did 4 things. Makes it a little easier. Sometimes you don't have to look too much into the codes and the descriptors if you just count the differences between the answers. Because that's all you're trying to do, is figure out which answer is correct by eliminating wrong answers. So if you know you did more than 2 procedures, then you can eliminate any answers that are 1 to 2. And then it's just thinking about the differences in those answers and which one would be correct. This one's been around a whole bunch. What if we change this one up a bit? Because this one, everybody knows the answer to this one. Let me think about this for a second. Let's see. What if we did... Let's change that to that. And I want to change Yeah, y'all ignore that question because I know you guys know the answer to this one. We've done this one a million times.
Catelyn Marie has become a member.
I want the answer to this, and then I want to know, and if we got rid of a... What am I trying to spell? Okay. What would be the answer if we did this? All right. Patient had 6 of those and hemangioma. Yeah. What would be the answer for that one? Let's see. 03 times 5 times 5. Caitlin, thanks for joining the YouTube membership. I hope it helps you out a whole bunch. She says her answer is 17,003 times 5. And then for our hemangioma, we're going to be doing 171. 106. Yeah, I agree. I like that one. I like that. Okay. What if we had a Ma's surgery and we had 6 slides from, and then we had 3 slides from left leg, and then we had 4 slides from right leg. What would be your answer for that Ma surgery? With Ma surgeries, you got 3 steps. First step is location. Location is either CPT code ending in 11 or 13. We're looking at codes 17313 or 17311. Where would leg and arms go? All right, 17113. Good, 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 good. All of our body parts would be on 13. The next part, step 2 on how to do Ma surgery, is how many times did the doctor go back to the body and cut something off? That's where code number 12 or 14 comes in play, but only 12 goes with 11 or only 14 goes with 13. They don't mix or combine with each other. So since we used our 13, we know we need to use our 14 if we went back to the body and cut off more things. Do I have it wrong? I do have it wrong. Do I have it wrong? Yeah. Yeah, y'all gotta watch me. I'm dyslexic. How about that? Is that better? All right, now what are we doing? Now we've got 3. What else do we need? Close, go-kart, close, but you're missing something. How many times did we go back to the body? Yes, blocks are the same thing as microscope slides. Yes. I call them microscope slides because that's exactly what they are. Nope, I still am not seeing the correct answer. Y'all are forgetting how many times we went back to the body. How many times did we go back to the body? Look at your descriptor for 14. Each additional stage after the first stage, up to 5 tissue blocks. Each additional stage. How many times did I go back to the body? That's a stage. We went to the body and we cut this piece of meat off and we turned it into microscope slides, right? Then we went back to the body and we did another stage, right? This is where our 14 comes into play, right? What do we do when we go back to the body again and do another stage? What happens to our 14? There you go, Mabel. She got it. Yep. This is 13. This is 14. This is 14. Yep. Yep. And then we can do times 2. Now, if any of those slides are over the number 5, then we add the number 15. Only the ones that are over 5 do we add the 15. So 17315. That would be our answer. So each one of those is a stage because we went back to the body and we cut off something else from another piece of the body somewhere. So each one is a stage. So we had 3 stages. This is stage 1. This is stage 2 and 3. That's how we come up with 3 stages. And then this just covers any slides, microscope slides, that are over the number 5. If our thing had been this, number 5, what would be our answer? Yep, perfect. Yep, you just take away that. What if this was 7? What would be the answer? Yeah, just you have to practice those Ma surgery questions and stay away from reading. Just go look for the word stage. Stage 1 was this many, stage 2 was this many. That's all you need. Look at Miss Sheila and Mandy. Good job. And neuro, yes, yes, yes. If this was our thing, it would be 17315 times 2 because 15 is for each additional block. It's not for each additional 5 sets. I used to think it was, but no, it's for each additional block. So a block is just a microscope slide. That's all. They're just slicing things up and putting it on a microscope slide. So if this was 8, then this would end up being 3. Oops. That kind of thing. Because anything over the number 5 changes your blocks. So if this one was also 6 and this one was 6, what would be your answer? Look at you guys typing away. Oh my gosh, y'all are doing good. I got 22 likes and 49 of you guys on. Thank you guys. That's really cool. What do you guys think the answer would be here? Let's see. If this is 3 over, then we just do 1 more and 1 more. 3, 4, 5, right? Yep. That would change that to 5. Mm-hmm. And then what if we went to the nose and we did 3 slides from nose? What would be the answer now? Great, Juanita. Good, Christina. Yeah, we could add, and probably would end up adding it back here because it's a smaller and less extensive area, probably. 311. We just add it at the end back here. You're supposed to code which one was more difficult. And of course, 8 slides from the arm is pretty difficult. 6 slides from the leg. 6 slides from the leg. And then 3 slides from the nose. But yes, that would be your answer. You guys can rewatch all you want. Yes, yes, yes. So my surgery step 1 is location. And it's really easy. It's either the 11 code or 13. And everything is either an 11 unless your arms and legs. And those are the only things that are in 13. And trunk, I think. Hands and feet are in 11. Just because it's arms and legs does not mean it includes hands and feet. So be clear, everything is an 11 unless it's just the arms, legs, or trunk. That also includes the back area. So your chest or back is 13. So arms, legs, back, and chest are 13, but in everything else is 11. After you do that, you just need to know step 2 is how many times you went back to the body and cut something off. How many? And that either gets you the 12 or it gets you the 14, and that's it. And then if any of those blocks, or what do they call them? They call them something different. Stages, if any of those stages were cut into blocks bigger than the number 5, that's the only time you add number 15. So they call them stages, and then they call them blocks. But I call them going back to the body and cutting something off, and then microscope slides. But it's still the same thing. It's kind of giving you a visual of what's going on, because no one knows what a stage is, and no one knows what a block is. It's hard to visualize and see what is going on in these magical Fantasyland questions when you don't even know what the heck they're doing. So a stage is just when they go to the body and they cut a piece of meat off. That's all. And then a block is just when they take that piece of meat and they cut it up and put it on microscope slides. And that's all. That's it. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Yep. And our answer to that previous question was that. And oh yeah, breast. All these, you probably will end up with one of these codes in Antignitary with the breast surgeries. So these are good codes to go look at too. I like y'all helping out each other in chat. I'm just reading what y'all been saying. That's awesome. I hate math. Me too. Yours won't be nowhere near as complicated as this on the exam. What you would get is on the exam is something that would be for an AAPC or CPC. You would get just 2 stages, and you would probably just get like a number 3 here and maybe a 6 here, but it would just be 2 stages. They won't do 4 stages, and they probably won't do the 2 times in the middle or even a times back here. So yours will either be just 3 plain CPT codes or 2 CPT codes. They probably won't do very much fanciness like this. If you can do this, then you're well advanced for the CPC exam for sure. It's above my pay grade. No. You can do it. And just think, if you knew how to code these like really well, you could work at a dermatology office and make really good specialty bank money. So, you know, rewatch this and learn how to do these. It could really help out a whole bunch. All right, these 19,000 codes. We've got 2 of them that are 125. 125. And then our other code is 19100. One of them is a biopsy. This one's a biopsy. 25 is an excision. And then our 83, our 083 is is a biopsy also. What did we do today? We did a biopsy. Did we do, we can get rid of the, did we do, we've got 2 CPT codes here. Got 1, 1, 1. It says type of procedure, biopsy of the right breast with previous placed guide wire. We probably got 2 pages to this one. Let's keep looking. See if there's anything else we need to know. Nothing much there. They just took out some calcification. What did April say? There was one I had to do math on. It wasn't mathing. I will find it and post it up on Discord because I thought I was somewhat okay adding 2.5 and 0.5, but came up with 2.7. Yes. So, April, that question? Okay, you guys know the answer. This one is A. So, what's going on with your question? Let me see if I can copy that. Is probably you had an excision that was 2.5. What do we do with that extra number that they give us when we're doing excisions? Anybody know the rule? When we have 2 numbers, what's going on? What do we do with that second number? Yeah, technically we do something else before we add. What do we do? What I'm assuming is we have an excision that has a 0.5 margin around it that we had to excise. The thing that we removed was the 2.5, right? But then we had to do the 0.5 around it. What happens to that 0.5? Multiply. Mandy got it. Yep. So what's 0.5 times 2 gives you the 1. So we just add 1 to this, right? Got 3.5, but I don't know. Now, if their margin was not a 0.5, what if it was a 0.25? Then that would give us 50 over here. That's still going to be more than a 2.7, but I don't know how they would have gotten 2.7, but you got to multiply your second number and then you add them together to get your total number for your excision. So if she had a 2.5, 2.5. So to get to a 7, their margin should have been just a 1, right? Should have been just a 1 margin on the side. Is what that would have been to get a 2.7. So if their margin was a 1, then we times that by 2. That would have given us a 0.2, and that would have given us a 2.7. If our margin was 0.1. Does that help? That's how you would have gotten the 2.7, is if your margin was a 1. Because you do the 0.1. Yep. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Don't forget to add your margin twice. You don't have to times it. You can always just write down your excision and then do your margin twice and just add them. Then you would have gotten your 2.7 too. But either way, you can either multiply the margin and then add together, or just write the margin down twice and then add it all together. Yeah. Oh no, you must have hit the rewind button, Miss Sheila. And probably the ads are stopping. Ads are adding. Yeah. All right, we still got 49 of y'all on and 39 likes. Thank you guys. That's awesome. All right, guys, what about this question right here? Did we do... They're all one procedure. Some of them have one diagnosis, some of them have 2 diagnoses. That's helpful to think about. We can go see what the differences are in the codes that are super similar, like the 43, the 42, and 44. Yes, they tell you it's a margin. Yes. They'll say the word margin. 2 millimeters on each side. Yep. Then you do the 4 millimeters. Yeah. Yes. D is correct on this one. You know, you could really eliminate the ones with the 2 diagnosis codes right away, and then you know your 2 differences are very, very different. You know you're not all the way up in the front doing a 110. What is that one? 110. 11010. A debridement versus a 11042 of sebaceous skin. This one is removal of foreign body, subcutaneous, and the other one is subcutaneous tissue, up to 20. Yep. Just modifiers on this one. What do you guys think the answer is on this one? Ooh, yay. They ran out of the little tea jugs. I've been having to drink out of the big ones. Got the bubbly too. A little bit of it left. Are we going to be a 78 modifier, a 76, or a 58? Remember, you only add modifiers if you are changing the CPT code descriptor. So a lot of times you don't need it at all. Ooh, my integumentary notes. Ooh, I forgot I had that down on there. My integumentary notes do come with a little homework. So if you do see this list, it's just listing some vocabulary terms of stuff you should know for your exam. So if you see this list, like you need to go know the definition of hives or TRICH. So some of this is a little bit of homework for you guys. I forgot I put that in the notes, but it's really good. I wish I'd had it when I took my exam. Oh my gosh. If you needed to do a 20 punch graft hair transplant, what would be the answer? Something like that. It's kind of funny. I think that was on somebody's exam last year, so I added that. I haven't seen any practice exam questions with hair transplants, so I didn't have any examples. Yeah, Tanya saw that. Yep, it's a little bit of homework, but it's worth doing for sure. C, 78. I saw a bunch of A's on this one. Why was everybody picking A? 10140? 101. $40 is a hematoma or clear fluid that we're getting rid of. And 80 is incision and drainage. It's complex. It's post-operative wound infection also. Why was the patient home or, out of the house today? What was going on? They had just had a surgery 6 days ago. So 80 is the only one that's post-operative. So you're going to have to stick with the post-operative one. So look for that difference. The differences between those two codes is one of them was a post-op surgery and the other one isn't. So first figure that out. Did your patient have a surgery recent? And if they are within the post-operative period of 30, 90 days, whatever, then we know we're going to do 80. Hey, MK, how's mom doing? I hope she's doing better. I hope Twinkle's mom's doing better too. My mom went to senior citizen yoga today. You did 5 post-ops today. Awesome. Good for you. I hope you're having fun with it. Turn it into a game. Oh yeah, we went to Mexico. I am ready for the zombie apocalypse here. I had enough antibiotics and antivirals and antifungals and you name it, we've got it. We are good for a little while here. Road trip was great. It was not bad at all. We're only about 3 hours and 20 minutes from the border, and super sweet, very nice people. We went across, went to our pharmacy, and then came out, grabbed 2 ponchos for the boys because they wanted ponchos, and then we come back across and come home. Very easy. We did spend the night at the casino very close to the border, just so Mom wouldn't have to drive all the way down there and back all in the same day, but we could have done it. We are ready for the zombie apocalypse. Yep, we're ready. We're ready. And I got some more acne medicine for poor Travis's face. Oh, you live about 20 minutes from the border in Texas? Oh, I'm jealous. That's really close. That's good. As far as getting meds and stuff, it's a lot easier than dealing with our healthcare system here. Because, you know, it's just very frustrating. You guys know it's not only just getting into your doctor, then getting a prescription, and then getting it from a pharmacy. It's a nightmare just to do anything. Yeah, so it's a lot simpler. If you live near the Canadian border or Mexican border, it's a lot easier dealing with their pharmacies and laws about routine prescriptions. Their healthcare system is set up to prevent issues instead of for profit and waiting on you to get so sick so that they can make money off of you. So it makes a difference. They do restrict certain antibiotics. They don't want everybody taking all kinds of stuff and becoming resistant to antibiotics. So you can't get certain antibiotics, which is great because they are protecting the population as a whole, which is wonderful, so that we don't get superbugs. So it is a great thing. I mean, you can get your parents' Lasix, their blood pressure pills. You can get their anticoagulants that they're on, their diuretics, their renal meds, all of it. They even have the Ozempic and stuff. It's crazy. Mom's on Lasix. You can get the Zofran, the anti-nausea meds. You can get all kinds of stuff. You can even get penicillin cream, like for your wounds and infections or cat scratch fever or whatever. You can just get cream of penicillin, which is really nice. I'm highly allergic to it. I can't use penicillin at all, but the boys could use it from time to time if they ever get to go outside and roam around and play. Yeah, I had anaphylactic shock in 6th grade, was in the hospital for about 10 days. It was really bad. For that, I could eat shellfish and have lobster and stuff like that with my parents too, but because they're big fishermen, they always love to fish. But when I had that allergic reaction to penicillin for an ear infection or something I haven't been able to eat shellfish either. It's crazy. Yours was in 5th grade too. Isn't that crazy? Should I have 51 to all the codes listed above? What does she? I don't understand your question, Katie. Ah, that's so cute. Y'all know each other. The modifiers that you should move to your book and know for your medical coding exam are your anesthesia ones, and then a few of the extra ones from your HitPix book, like your JW, your Q6, QW, and your ABN, the GA. I like to have those. And then all the anesthesia ones, I like to move those to the anesthesia section, all of these suckers, because that way you don't have to go open up the HitPix book during your exam to find out if you've got MAC or whatever else is going on. Super helpful to have these. The types of anesthesia is helpful to have listed. And make sure that you don't add, like right here, if your CPT code descriptor says your patient is dead, so that says dead patient, I know my ink fled through it, then you don't add your qualifying circumstance P6 code that says your patient is brain dead, because your descriptor already has it in there. So the only time you use status modifiers or status indicators or modifiers of any sort is if you're going to change your descriptor. If your descriptor doesn't have that they're brain dead, then you can use it. But like on that particular code 01990, it actually says the patient is brain dead. So don't use P6 on that one. So, it's cute, my little sticker. Don't read. Answers first. Look for your irregularities, similarities, and differences only in those answers. That's all. Yep. Love that. Love that little sticker. All right. This particular question, did we do 2 procedures or did we do 4? What did we do today? We have a number here, we have a number here, we have a number here, and we have a number here. How many numbers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can get rid of C and A. And then our differences, are we a 113 or a 116? And if you've learned a little bit about the 116s, the 114s, you know what terms to look for, and you will know, hopefully without opening your book, what the answer is going to be for this one. Yep. Yep. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes, yes, yes. if A is the answer, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 procedures. Because this is 3. And then that's 3 more codes. So that would have been 6 procedures, 2 procedures, 6 procedures, or 2. I think this one might have a couple of pages. Yeah. So what did we do today? What have we got? We got an abscess and another abscess. Layered. See the word complex up here. What do you guys think? All this integumentary. I'm sure y'all's minds are like, when is she going to stop with integumentary? And think about those modifiers too. Do we use 51 or 59? 3 of your answers, 59. Only 1 has 51. Look for patterns. When you figure out what the answer is, remember that they didn't use the 59 modifier here with these codes, and that they used the 51. Those kind of things are just helpful to remember or to add to your book around these codes. That way when you see answers, you could eliminate the next time you see a question like this, even if it's written out differently. I was in the 114s. We only use the 51 modifier most of the time. I've not seen anything with the 59. Well, 3 of your answers have 59 in them. You can eliminate it super quick and move on to your next question without having to read all this mess and add body parts and whatever else is going on. Oh, it's a nightmare. They're just meant to slow you down. But there's easy patterns in these answers and questions that you guys can figure out. All right, one more in integumentary and then we'll move on. They're all in the 158 code area, but 2 of them are in the 30s and 2 of them are in the 79s. What's our differences between those codes? Is there a header difference? What's going on? 158. 158. Flaps and graphs. Always need more practice with these things. Things that are important when you're reading and practicing and playing around with these questions. Be sure to check out your guidelines and look for words that they call things. They're calling this a cutaneous flap. Look for anything else that might have any kind of distinguishing words, because knowing where to code things and what they're called is half your battle. Anything that's called a random island flap or a V and Y flap or adjacent flap is all part of your 14s right there. So gathering this information and then moving it to the codes where it's located. You see over here at the 14s, I went and moved all those words to the individual codes. So when you're dissecting all this stuff, take it from here and move it to those numbers because you'll never remember all that stuff. And then we know that our 15740, I don't know, focus, is called a cutaneous flap. And then you can move that over there to the 15740. Hey Bill, good to see you. Anyway, 15. The 15, 8. The 15775 and 776, somebody said was on their exam. Those are the hair transplant ones, but I don't have any examples of these as far as practice questions. I do have that 15775 is 1 to 15 punch graphs, of course, hair follicles. And if there's more than 15, we're going to add our 76, but that's it. Indeed. So once you get this down to your 50-50 shot, you know it's not in the 30s, you know you're here. What seems to be a pattern is if it's a difference between a 77 and a 79, most of the time the answer is the smaller of the two numbers. So keep that in mind when you're answering things on your exam. If you have no idea what's going on, you can't find the codes, I don't know, whatever's happening, you're running out of time. You don't have time to look them up. Pick the smaller of the numbers. If you can get yourself down to 50-50 shot, you know at least you're under those two, then you can just guess and pick the smaller of the two number. I find that is more often the correct answer than nothing, for sure. All right, 60,000s. They're all in the 60,000 twos, so let's roll over there, see what's going on with that chapter. Any other questions for tonight before we end tonight? Anything y'all wanting to look at or do? Anything in particular y'all are having a hard time with, want to know the differences of? Speak up while you got my attention. All right, 602s, where are they at? We're in the back here near the thyroids. 602, 220. 220. Did we do a total thyroid? Did we do a gland? Did we do limited with the neck dissection? Or did we do removal of everything? All of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. What did we do today? See, the gland was preserved. So I know one of those codes is for the gland to be removed. Thyroid gland is resected free and the trachea and is removed. We did ligate some vessels. We did superior and inferior. Correct, Shannon. If you do go to, let me bring up this thing real quick too. Oh, there it is. Had it. So silly. Practice exams, blog, event items, publication. There it is. Copy. Well, they got so many links. There's a link in chat. And let me see. Can I show it? Yeah. All right. So if you go to that link that I gave you, right here on the bottom is this video right here. And it will
Welcome to the
give you a
AAPC.
nightmare of stuff to look at. But during this, it'll actually show you, watch all these videos, every single one of these videos. Navigating your exam is a really good part of the video. I mean, there's a million videos. You got to watch all of these, every single one of these. But the navigating the exam, they will show you in this video exactly what the exam looks like and how it's
For
bundled
save your
together.
responses.
And
Question
it'll show
and
you
revisit
exactly
it
what
later.
it looks like. And see, they do
Click
have the cases all bundled together. They also have like all the integumentary all bundled together. They have all the musculoskeletal all bundled together. But they're going to show you screenshots of exactly what the exam's going to look like too on this. And I put the link in the bio. There's that notepad thing if you wanted to use it, but I find it unhelpful. I wish they just had a drawing tool. If we could just draw on this screen, that would be amazing. But they give us a notepad to type in. It's just unhelpful. But if by chance you're taking anything that is a coding regulation or a guideline you have to have that's not inside your CPT book or something, they'll actually have the documents that you can have with the exam too. So as you get into COC or CPMA, you can access that kind of stuff. There is a calculator there too if you need it on the exam. See where it says down here at the bottom where you can go to previous section or go to the next section? That's helpful too. The calculator's up there at the very top right. And that's how you look at a case if you needed it and you needed to fill in the blank. Oh, I don't want to fill in the blank. Boy, I hate it when our exams turn into fill in the blank. That would be terrible. But so far, nothing like that is happening. They do have the CIC exam, which is mostly all fill in the blank, and it's already been up and running like that. I don't even want to take that exam. But they will probably have it one of these days. But yeah, if you ever needed one of these guidelines, it's there. But I encourage you to go to the website and look at all of this stuff because they've got so much stuff on these videos. Every little thing is listed here, so super helpful. And that's just a 3-minute video, so it's handy dandy. It'll show you what the exam looks like. All right. I'm glad you found us too, Estella. $909. Okay, let me get to that in just a second. Go kart. Let's see. So I answered Shannon's. So 909.60. 909.60. 909.60. Those are for patients that are 20 years older, end-stage renal disease, 909.60. And it says with 4 or more face-to-face visits per month. Yes. Yep. If they have only had 2 to 3 visits, it's 61. If they only had 1 visit a month, then it is 62. What if they have... So if they have 7 visits that month, it's still counted as a 60 because it says with 4 or more face-to-face visits. So it doesn't matter as long as the number's over 4. They could have 30 visits, I guess, you know. But if they only have 2 to 3 visits, it's only going to be the 61. And then if it's only 1 visit, here. So no timesing these. There's no each in the code. And you just have to verify how many visits they had that whole entire month. So that should be easy enough, Miss Go-Kart. Hope that's helpful. All right. Next one is what's the difference between, the 60240. Let's go look. 602.40. 602. $602.40. And then our 602.20 and our 40. So 20 is a lobectomy. It's not a thyroidectomy, where our 40 is a thyroid removal. 20 is just a lobe removal. Your thyroid is made up of different parts, and the thyroid is one part, but then there's lobes to the thyroid. They're extra. Let's see if we can't bring up removal versus images. Do we have anything? I like that one. I think, yeah. Let's go to this one. Yeah. So your thyroid has like little lungy globes, lobey things on the sides. And then it also has glands that are inside the lobes too. So The thalamus is also located there. There's a lot of body parts in such a little bitty area. So visually seeing and understanding what's going on inside the area is super helpful. Be sure and, if you don't know the differences between what a gland and a lobe and where those are located, Google is your
Sylvia
friend.
Aguilar has become a member.
Google those and look up pictures and research about what's going on inside each kind of thing. It's super helpful. That way you can visually see what's going on and what the differences are. But if they're going to remove the whole thyroid, it's totally different than just removing a lobe. Sylvia, I hope those YouTube videos help you out a whole bunch. Where am I at? We still have 45 of you guys on and 35 likes, and we got 8 new YouTube members. That's awesome. And I gave away 5. What else is in chat? Where is... Let me talk to Travis. I'm getting distracted because his music. Travis, concert, quality, volume is not needed. Turn it down. I'm trying to teach. He has Billie Eilish in there blaring. And I like Billie Eilish, but good gracious, she distracts me. Okay. What was my next question? We got that. Mandy, did that help out? I hope that helped. I tried signing up for AAPC and it keeps saying the password using for sign up is not accurate. If I follow through everything they are requesting a password, any reason for that? Sometimes I have trouble with AAPC's log on too. When that happens, I change from Chrome and I use Internet Explorer and log on through them. Sometimes that still doesn't work and I have to log out and then log on to a different Internet Explorer or Chrome. Sometimes their server is just down and they're just refreshing their website. I can't talk about, I don't work for AAPC, but I have issues with them too sometimes. Internet Explorer saves my password in it and I don't have to type it, so that's nice. But then when I go to Chrome, it doesn't save it anymore. It won't allow that. They've done something to their website, so I have to type it in every time. So I don't know. Check your history and look through your settings and see what you put your password as according to your history. See if you can recover it that way. But if you've lost your password, then chat with them on their chat feature during business hours tomorrow. You can call them too, but I like chatting on their chat. And see if that doesn't help. Did everybody get C as the answer for this one? Can you show us how to go on the magazine and get the practice questions? I can, absolutely. Let me get over there. And go to here. And let me, wrong one. Let me go to, is this it? No. Oh, that doesn't, let's see. Is that it? Sorta. Okay. Let me... So if you're on AAPC's website, you do have to log on and you do have to be a member to get into the magazine, but of course log on. And then once you get there, go to training and events, go to search CEUs, scoochie down, go to other low-cost AAPC CEUs. Then in the middle of this page is the magazine, right there where it says test yourself. Click right there. You can do the drop-down menu for last year's exams. So far we have access to only the last 12 months worth of exams. You can do back through March. And there's the answers and questions, and they have rationale too. No one will keep up with the score or anything. You can take these exams as many times as you want. I don't even think I've done Marches yet. I don't know. Have I done Marches? No. So you got 3 attempts to take this quiz and pass. So if you don't know anything and you just want the questions, you could just go all the way through here and hit A for every one of them, and then hit grade, and then go back and change all the answers to B that were wrong. You know, you don't have to be, worried about what's going on with these questions. And I suggest you don't pass them until you pass your certification exam, because you're going to want all of these CEUs. You get 1 CEU for getting all the answers correct. So even if you do hit the grade, make sure you do not pass. Keep at least 3 answers incorrect. Pick you 3 questions that you don't care about what the question is, and don't ever fix those questions. That way you can save these for when you do pass and you need the CEUs. Keep them incorrect every time you hit grade. But then you can keep hitting grade and get the correct answer with the ones that you care about, like, the E&M questions, of course. The ones that you should do and get your final grade for are the previous year's months ones. So I encourage everybody to go to Marches for 2023, whether you've passed or failed or have not completed your certification. Go on and do this one and go on and get a grade for it, because it doesn't matter, because it will disappear in April and we won't even have access to it. So you might as well go on and do this one and then get the rationale and get your answers correct. And you can hit Control P. You can print out the whole thing. It won't come with rationale, but you can print to PDF and save it on your hard drive. And then you can also just highlight each question, if you wanted to, and copy, and then you can go to your Word document like we're in. I want to go, so if you just highlight one of the questions, then you can paste it here, and then you can go back to the website and go back and get your rationale for that question. It just means you got to click back and forth, but eventually you want to just capture all the questions and all the rationale. This is the questions and answers that lady on that the Amazon book that's got all those practice questions, she copies and pastes them into a document and sells them on that Amazon store. But she gets the questions and the answers mixed up, so they're wrong a lot of the times. But anyway, you want to copy and paste these into your own Word document so that you can practice with them. You want to use them for your own study. You don't want to sell them like other people are doing, because that's against your ethics. They could take away your CPC if you are caught. So do not publish these practice questions and exams. Use them as your own study. Be good. But they are free. And if you do have a membership with AAPC, that is where they are located, and you get 20 a month for free. Yes, yes, yes. I'm trying to get back there. I can't remember which one of these. Oh, that's the camera. This one was for, yep. Oh, okay. I gotta take away that to get that back. No? Oh, yeah. I probably have to go to the website. Yeah, there I was. There I was. There's the question. But that's where the free practice exam questions are. And if you are already a member of AAPC, that's where they're located for you. No, they do not have fill in the blanks right now, unless you're taking CIC. CIC does have fill in the blanks. Anxiety is high. I know, Rachel. You're ready. You're going to be good. I just passed. Purchase 10 sections of your notes. Good gracious. Don't stress. Remember, if you do purchase my notes, my notes will have above some of the procedures what's going on in the procedure. You don't need that. All you need for the exam is really the one-word differences and move on, right? That's more helpful than anything. But my notes do have a lot of info in them, but don't stress. Don't stress about trying to copy all of that. But you can. It's great. And of course, when you get a job and you move on and are doing coding in real life, knowing what exactly is going on inside each exam or procedure code and what you can code it with and all that stuff is handy dandy for real life stuff. But for the exam, I mean, if they're using pins for an alignment after a re-break, it's kind of interesting to know some of the stuff. So I just don't want you to freak out about everything that's there. Just the major things that you need is those one-word differences. You don't need all the extra stuff that I do have written there. So get those one-word differences. That's the most endearing part. And yeah, good luck with the rest. And we're gonna, you'll be all inked up for sure on that. All the colored inks, and your fingers will be all different colors and stuff. So it's too fun. Let's go back to that exam for March. We haven't done that one yet. Where did it go? I think I hit the grade once. Yeah, I think we can hit it 2 more times. Let's see. So that wasn't the answer to these. This is the answer for this one. The cerebral infarction 3 weeks ago. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good one to know and have inside your book for your exam. That's a good question. What's going on with this patient? A patient has an 11-week after a heart attack. You know, there's a guideline with heart attacks. Heart attacks are global for 4 weeks, right? A month after the heart attack. This is 11 weeks after. Doctor refers the patient to cardiac rehab. What would we use as a diagnosis? Do we use a Z code then? Or are we still in the I-25s, or are we in the I-46s? It's a good question. we've got the 6 questions here, but look, we've got modifiers, right? We can, we've got one answer that doesn't have the 79. The other ones have the 79. What's the 54 modifier? A lot of times you can see patterns in what they're doing. Surgery care only. Ophthalmologist performed on what? And tolerated procedure well. They're returning for a post-op visit today. Definitely know that's not the 54. It's going to be one of the 79s, right? So did we do a 84 and an 84 with the 79? They got some cool questions this time. What modifier is used to reduce or manipulate? I know the modifier for the manipulation. It's a pretty good question. That's cool. Reduction in services. Reduction. So we got our 52, most definitely for that one. That's easy. We've got the T codes. Do you know where these codes are located in your CPT book? They're in the back of your book behind the medicine section. And they usually mean you're doing ultrasound. I don't think they'd be for under the skin. That's got to be one of the 78s or 99s. And probably just picking the lowest number out of them, it's probably a C. So my phone's going off. Oh yeah, we're getting late. I gotta go. Oh mine. Oh my Nivea. All right. And then we got E&M reports a level 5 office visit. Total time is 90 minutes. Patient is Medicare. How do you report it? Easy question, right? Easy question with that one. 75 minutes, 15 minutes was beyond the typical plan. What do you code? Multiple sclerosis. That's a good question. I think I've seen multiple sclerosis on an exam before. That might be a good one. Would we have 2 codes or 1 code if they had MS with peripheral neuropathy? That's a good question. Check back with chat. I struggle with knowing anatomy and what's happening in the procedures. Any books that you recommend for that? Well, my notes will tell you what's going on for the procedures, code by code. And then the only real anatomy book you really need is just your ICD-10 book. If you have one that has the anatomy section right before you start coding that particular chapter, this is all you need. This is where they get their questions from. Like here before the circulatory diseases, they tell you all about the circulatory system, what makes it up, and then they tell you about all the diseases in it. Very common for them to put and pick where they get answers from is from the ICD-10 book. It has all the anatomy in it that you could ever want or need for the coding exam. I mean, they're describing the differences between bronchitis and emphysema right there. It's a really good for your anatomy is the ICD-10 book. And of course, watching my lives, because I tell you what anatomy terms from the rumor mills have been on the exam. Veins and varicose veins, what they look like and what the differences are. Your ICD-10 book is great with anatomy. It really is. Yes, attend a local chapter meeting. Is that after certification only? No, you can attend chapter meetings before you're certified. Absolutely. And you can also attend remotely too, you know, the webinars and stuff. Absolutely. Aw, your friend paid for your membership. That's awesome. Aw, that is so sweet. Awesome, awesome. You just joined the live. Yay. Can you say it again where the free practice exam question site is? Yes, I can. Get rid of that. And so if you go to AAPC's website and you are a member of AAPC, you do have to log on. Once you log on to AAPC, you're going to go to training and events. You're going to go down here to search for CEUs. When you click on that, you're going to scoochie down. You're going to go to other low-cost CEUs. Click on that little box, and right there in the center of the orange is the Healthcare Monthly Magazine. I recommend don't do these and pass them, because you're going to need these CEUs when you do pass. But go to the drop-down menu for last year. Go to March, even April. At least do these two. Even if you do all of these, just do like I was doing that March one and don't get every answer correct. Make sure you just go through there, answer the whole exam as A first time. Then pick you out 3 questions you don't care to know what the answer is. They always have some, you know, administrative ones like when was AAPC invented or whatever. Keep those as the wrong answer and then get the answers to the other questions that you need. But this is where the exams are and the rationale. There's 20 questions per month that are put in here, and they only allow us to see the last 12 months. So this March one from 2023 will go away in April, and we won't have access to these questions anymore. And some of these are pretty good. Look, there's a 24 modifier one. That's a good one to have. Good question. Some months they're really terrible questions, but some months are good. Just depends. Well, I mean terrible, just from the CPC exam point of view, because they do exam questions for all their certificates here. Like this one might be just for an auditor exam, you know. It's not going to be just for CPC, but there are some good little nuggets in there for you guys. This one's a really good one. That's a very, very good one for CPC. There's a CRC one. Yeah. So anyway, that is where they're at. They're located at the AAPC website, and they're located at training and events. Go to search CEUs, go to the low cost, then go to the magazine. And don't forget to do the drop-down menus. Also, don't forget to go to my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. Can't see the whole thing. Let's get that situated where y'all could see some more of it. I don't know. But that's my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. And there is a link there that if you click on it, it'll take you to Pocket Prep, which is great because Pocket Prep, if you come here with that link, we get 15% of any questions you buy from them. But their questions are only $14 or $34, and they give you 750 practice exam questions. just go to medical, then click on the AAPC, CPC right there. They have 750 questions. It's ridiculous. They have a pass guarantee. Click on those. So I know y'all can't see all of this page, but they have right here is a pass guarantee right there that if you do purchase the $37 one and you don't pass your CPC, they'll give you 3 more months for free. And these questions are just like the AAPC's multiple choice questions. You can build your own exam. You can do all just E&M or all guidelines or all neuro, whatever you want to do, or all lab and path. They work on all 18 subjects. Here's the subjects. And for $14 a month or $34 for 3 months, it really is a good value. I do have them correcting one question. I have about 200 more questions to go through to have audited every one of them. They do have some errors every once in a while, but even AAPC has some errors in their questions. And we just do them and audit them. They even have 75 cases now. And we just get them to correct them and fix them. Usually they're just typos, but no big deal. But they are worth it. I wouldn't say they were worth it if they weren't, but they really are. I've been promoting them for 2-3 years now, and even without getting a percentage of their sales. And they just asked me recently to partner with them, so I agreed. But if you know anything about me, the 3 years that I've been doing this, the only places I recommend you getting practice questions are from AAPC, from Pocket Prep, and CCO. They have 3 exams, Sapphire, whatever they are, or at least a couple of years ago. I haven't looked at their site in a long time, but they had good practice exam questions too. But those are the only places that I recommend you getting exams, practice exam questions. And if by chance you have not purchased practice exam questions from AAPC, if you go to, let's see, it's always fun to find where they hide stuff. Let's go to CPC. And you go to their CPC site right there. And over here to the side, they've got a little tab that says practice exam questions. There you go. And that's where you purchase practice exams. I recommend only getting A, B, C, D, E, F, and then hitting I agree and add that to your cart. Don't buy the course and don't buy all the other mess. But the other thing is, if you've already done or seen or used A, B, C, D, E, F, maybe even previous years you've had them, they don't change a lot from year to year. Go over here to COC, purchase those. They're very much like CPC. They're just outpatient surgeries. They won't have a lot of doctor's office visits, but they're still doing all the integumentary, all the cardiovascular. There's still a good 95% of them will be beneficial for you for CPC. I even found some of the practice exam questions in these bundles were actually the questions on my CPC exam. If you're just looking to buy more questions, that's a whole nother 300 right there for $140. If you want more questions, you can always go to the specialty tab. You can do the drop down menu here, and you can pick like CEDC or no, CEMC. This is just all E&M questions, all of those. That's all that is E&M questions. And you can buy just the questions for $40. You can do peds. That's all pediatric questions. Doctor's office visits for peds. ERs, triage, that kind of stuff. NICU. Isn't there an ED one? Yep, this one's all ER questions for $40. And you can do those too. So, and CCC is all cardiovascular. So if you really wanted to get deep dive into it, those are there too. Let me get to another page real quick. Black that out for just a second. And if by chance you did not pass your exam and you want questions just based off of what you did not pass, what you do is you go to your thing, and when you fail an exam, right, you click on it and it'll give you your score, right? Down here at the bottom is a whole nother drop down menu of questions you can purchase just based off of your score. If you did a 33% in a guideline, right? You want to only buy guideline questions, you can buy 20 right there. And they're not from exams A, B, C, D, E, or F. These are specific that are called area of study. They're more advanced questions to try to show you what you did wrong. You can select just the ones that you did less than 70 on, or you can buy them all. They're pretty expensive. It's 160 questions for $200. If you buy them all, it's almost 500 with tax. But they are good questions. They really are. Keep in mind that, like for hit picks, there's only 3 questions on the entire exam for hit picks. Or for diagnosis codes, there's only 5 questions or 4 questions or something like that. So you spending $30 for 5 questions or whatever on the exam, it's probably not as valuable as buying like all the medicine or the lab and path or the cardiovascular questions. So, but these are really good questions to purchase too. I like to take the exams and try to fail them so that I can have access to seeing the exam twice for you guys. Super fun, but getting access to the area of study questions too is super helpful because it shed more insight on their practice questions and what could be on the exam. I found one set of duplicate questions in this area of study where the same question is one of these twice. One of them is like rewritten with an extra word in it or something. It's the same question twice, and I wrote them and asked them to fix that because I thought that was unhelpful. When you're buying them 10 questions at a time, you shouldn't have 2 questions that are almost the exact same. But other than that, they're really good questions. Something about a goat. Mabel, you do really good on answering all the questions when you're here. I think you're doing really well. You really are. I haven't had to stop and say, now, Mabel, think about that. What do you think about this? I haven't had to correct or anything. You've been doing really good. Would you recommend buying an AAPC bundle practice? If you do and you're short on money, just get DEF and any area of study that you could afford in like something that means something like compliance or guidelines or E&M. don't get lab and path or medicine, because those sections are hard no matter what, no matter how much practice you do. Even if you get a 50% in those areas, that's about the highest you can really do a lot of times, no matter how much, unless you're really studying and know something about lab and path and medicine, because those are hard. Focus your learning on integumentary, musculoskeletal, cardiovascular, OB delivery, respiratory, all those core subjects in the CPT area with the guidelines. That's where you should focus with the E&M for sure if you're buying on a budget. But Pocket Prep is super handy dandy, guys, because it's 750 practice exam questions, and you can do it on your phone, you know, standing in line at the grocery store, waiting at a light, you know, whatever. Pocket Prep can go with you everywhere, and it grades every question individually. So you don't have to do 50 questions or whatever at a time to get your rationale. You can do one question at a time while you're standing in line somewhere, you know. I love Pocket Prep because of that. And I'm trying to build something like that on my website that would grade every question individually so that you could access and do that kind of stuff directly from my website, from me, guys. And I think that would be fun. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can show you. Oh, wrong one. That one. Yep. My website, if you do go here, I don't know what I've done to my, wonder if I can go. Will that work? No. So let me see. Can I drag it? Can I drag it? Nope. Drag. Drag. I know that helps, huh? Nope, doesn't help. Up at the top of my website, I do have some, a practice area you can click into, and we do have some practice exam questions. I got 3 right there. So like you can click the answer and hit submit, and it'll tell you the rationale and what the answer is. Or we've got those 2, but then I have these practice flashcards here. There's supposed to be 3 exams here. 3 exams here for you guys to do too. So I've got some exams here on my website that are free at medicalcodingbyjen.com, so y'all can go there too. It's called the practice area. And oh, don't forget about YouTube. Oh my gosh. If you go to medical YouTube, of course. Don't forget about the community tab here on YouTube. Click that community tab. We've got practice exam questions here too. I got to get my IT guy to help me fix my formatting. I'm sorry on this, but these are practice exam questions too under the community tab. There's a playlist tab, there's a podcast tab, there's a live tab, there's a short video tab where you can watch all the shorts. So play around, click on things, and you'll find all kinds of stuff. And this is today's question. And when you click the answer, it'll give you the rationale. So, pretty cool. Be sure and stop at all that stuff. What else we got going on? The exams that you just showed us are the possible questions on the test. Could be, yes, very well. They use a pool of questions. So it could be from their magazines, it could be from their courses, it could be from whatever, and it could populate onto your certification exam. You never know what you're going to get. You finished your, Marianne finished your course. You got an 85 on the final. Yay! Awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome. Hey, Abraham. Yes, you can use your 2023 books this year. Absolutely. What book is the Heart Pick in? That is on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com. If you go to my website, it's under the shared gallery. And I share all my favorite photos of all my favorite websites or pictures that I have, like anatomy pictures, what pens do I use, that heart picture is what's going on. That's the differences between the right internal thoracic artery and your left. Plus it shows anastomosis. So when you when they perform that surgery, you know where they're doing it and what it looks like. But that's called the shared gallery. It's also free on my website. There's tons of free pictures here. Tons of free pictures. All my favorites. I like my brain one because it tells you a little tiny bit of what each lobe of the brain does, like which ones control smell, which one controls speech. I love quick and to the point answers. And then I moved all that data into my CPT book so that if they asked me which part of the brain does balance and posture, I'd know right away. So my website has tons of helpful info on it, all free for you guys. It's probably just a Google search. It's probably not a book. Oh, the CRC book, maybe? There is a book here on AMA, from AMA, and I like the book because it does the CRC exam questions. I find this book very helpful. The AMA wrote it. If you want to go for your CRC certificate, this book has more than enough info in it, but each chapter has practice exam questions in it, and those practice exam questions, the multiple choice ones, are very similar to what's on the exam, and I approve this book. Absolutely. You can get it in digital format or paper print if you want, but I do recommend the book. It's kind of expensive. It's a $80, $90 book, but it's worth it if you want a deep dive without a course, what's going on in CRC, and you want practice exam questions for CRC. AAPC, of course, sells some, but this is a bonus extra stuff. I like this book. So that's what's there. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to go get some more tea. I will be back on TikTok tomorrow. We'll be doing some more book prep. Doing some more notes and book prep for our certification exams. And we'll start out at 6:30 on TikTok. And then we'll be back here on Thursday for more practice exam questions. I hope this has been super helpful. Next week, Monday, I can't go live on Monday because we have a banquet to go to for Travis's cheer. Semi-formal, so we get to go dress up on Monday night and eat dinner. That'll be fun, but the rest of the week we'll be able to go live. That's all I got going on so far. My audit is coming close at work, my final audit at my real job during the day. So March is going to be really busy for me for completing my final audit for the place that I work for. March is always a really busy time at work, but hopefully as soon as I get done with that audit in March, I'll be able to start back up with duck classes if you guys are still interested. So hopefully we can get that going soon. All right, guys, I love y'all. You are very, very welcome. I'm happy, and hopefully this will help. U.S. Career Institute quizzes are very hard. I bet they are. I'd love to see them. Understand the shot code. Why would code first two codes multiple times? Oh, because of components, Julie, that is because of components. So, oh goodness. I don't know if anybody's got time for this. I know it's getting kind of late. I know y'all are getting tired. But, that's a really good question, Julie. I love doing immunizations because I used to do peds for a very long time. So let me see if I can't help you out with this one real quick. Another reason to go to my website is because I've got this baby blue and pink pages on my website that you need to answer these questions. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but if you go to your immunizations in your CPT book, where are we at? Right here. You have to know how many components are inside each vaccine, and the CPT book does not tell you that. And you need these numbers to tell you how many times you multiply your 60 code. Your, let me find that chat real quick. Your thing, Miss Julie, I hope she's still here. Julie said this. Julie said that. So this means that this patient had, what, 9 components for their vaccines, because I can add that number and that number together. Let me get rid of this camera. Okay. So, and the only reason you need, you would know is because you go to 90700, and you need to know how many components it has. It has 3 components in it. And each one of these vaccines will have a certain number of components in it. And what was ordered was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots, right? So we've got 5 of your components are going to be here. But like, I'm not sure because I'm not going to look up all these codes right now. So for pretend, this might have 1 component in it. So that makes 4. So this one might have 2, this one might have 2, and this one might have 1. So that all of this equals up to being 9. And what you do is, these are administration codes. The 60 code and the 61 code are administration codes. What you do is you count up how many shots were given. So there was 5 given, right? Without the administration codes. Then you take 5 away from the number 9, and that's how you get the 4 to do with the second code. It's crazy, it's insane. But the first thing you need is on my website. You need to go to my website, Medical Coding by Jen. You need to go to the shared gallery. There's a baby blue and a pink pages that Twinkle and I put on the site for you guys, and for free, or you can just buy my notes from the medicine section and you can copy it down. But if you are strapped for money, of course you go to the shared gallery. It's a tab at the top of this website, and you'll find these, see the baby blue one right here, this baby blue one? And what it does, it'll give you the CPT code over there on the left side, and the final right side is where it tells you how many components are there. See the components? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Just go to each CPT code and write that number down. That way you'll be able to add these together and do that particular question. But yeah, this was cool. I love doing vaccines, and I know this explanation is probably crazy, but if you had a TDAP, that has 3 components in it. If you have varicella, that has 1 component in it. If you have mumps, measles, rubella, that has 3 components in it. You can't always tell from the name of the vaccine, but that's why those pieces of paper are very important. But this right here would mean that we gave the child 7 components. Administration-wise would mean that the number 60, we gave what? 3 vaccines. 1, 2, 3. So number 60 would be times 3. We take 3 away from the 7 components. We're left with 4. And then our 61 component would be times 4 for the remaining. This only happens, and we only use the 60 for vaccine administration when counseling is done. If counseling is not done with the vaccines, then we have to use the 71 administration fees, and they don't times like these. You don't need to count components. The only time you do components is when counseling is done, and that's when you use the 60 and the 61, and you need to know how many components are inside each vaccine. And that's nothing that they teach you in the course. They don't teach you in any of the study guide. They barely mention it, and what they mention isn't anywhere near enough information to get you to be able to do this. So I've got the exact thing on my website so that you can just go add that to your CPT book, and then you can start practicing doing these. But I hope that's helpful. I hope Julie stuck around for that. I hope that was helpful. Anyway, I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night on TikTok for the 24 that are still remaining. Oh, I got 41 likes tonight. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Proud of you guys. Y'all asked really good questions tonight. That was really fun. I hope this was helpful. See you tomorrow, Rach. Good night, Deborah. Thanks, Mabel.